Welcome to the African Warriors Fighting Championship. From the beautiful city of Katsina, we have Autan Shagon Audu versus Dogon Messi. Action-packed bout on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. In the sandpits, 3-minute rounds, 1 minute rest in between. A knockout counts as a victory. A knockdown counts as a victory. In that round, all strikes are permitted only. Hand strikes are permitted only from the wrapped hand. And kicks are permitted from either leg. Ladies and gentlemen, Autan Shagon Audu versus Dogon Messi. The drummers filling the athletes with energy as we approach the center of the sandpit. Autan Shagon Audu versus Dogon Messi. African Warriors Fighting Championship. From the cool and sunny city of Katsina. This is round one. Distance management as we approach the neutral stage of the fight. Neutral is mostly comprised of what? Distance management. Finding the range where you're most effective and operating from the range where your opponent is least effective. That's generally what distance management is about. And that's what you see both men attempting to do right now. Dogon Messi, of course, the taller, rangier fighter, living true to his name, Dogo meaning tall in Hausa, framing with the shield to obstruct the vision and to do what? To distract. When you obstruct and distract, then you can use the spear through the back to destroy. And you see him framing with the shield, with the shield, and throwing with the spear. Those were 3 unanswered strikes, 1 to the head, 1 to the body, 1 to the head again, if I remember correctly. And Autan Shagon Audu throwing, oh, that was a solid right hook counter from Dogon Messi. He's keeping that shield hand low and taking a few overhand rights for his troubles. But I think the reason the shield hand is low is because he knows he's taller. His opponent has to fight up, forwards and upwards. Ooh, that was a solid right hand counter, and that's the second time he landed it in this bout. And now you see him smelling blood, pulverizing Autan Shagon Audu to the point where he gets pushed out of the sandpit. Ladies and gentlemen, you should have been here live in person to see this. And you see him tenderizing the ribs, softening those ribs up so that eventually a path can be cleared to the head, as you saw him do now. So you work the body 2 or 3 times so that the ribs get soft, the hands get weak, and then you throw to the head to destroy. And that's what you see him repeatedly doing. Bear in mind that Autan Shagon Audu was pushed out of the sandpit, meaning that there's a 1-point deduction on his side in the judges' cards. Dogon Messi is really composed despite the fact that he smells blood. I think this kid is really experienced, probably a few hundred fights under his belt with daily over the past couple years, because the way this guy is composed, even in this situation where he smells blood, taking 1 for his troubles there from Autan Shagon Audu, Dogon Messi. He keeps the lead hand low, but I think it's just because he can see the range disadvantage, the range advantage he has over his opponent. Taking 1 and then throwing a kick. A reminder that kicks are of course allowed from the beautiful spot of Dambe from either leg. Oh, those aren't legal. Elbows to the back. But the referee watching closely and warning both men, I'm assuming, as we go right back into the action. Dogon Messi, and takes 1 for his troubles, but getting out of the way. Autan Shagon Audu is like a Wolverine. He just keeps moving forward. Regardless of how small he is, he just has this natural, innate aggression that he's been using to great effect so far in this first round of this opening bout of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Autan Shagon Audu versus Dogon Messi, presented to you by the African Warriors Fighting Championship from the beautiful city of Katsina in northern Nigeria. And I am your host and commentator for the day, Ocheyong Jolofedache, and here we go. Autan Shagon Audu still very much in this fight despite his opponent applying so much pressure. He's been on the receiving end of so many combinations, 2-3 strike combinations. Ooh, and as I say that, okay, well, that was because the referee had blown the whistle. Ladies and gentlemen, African Warriors Fighting Championship from the beautiful city of Katsina. Look at our replays on the screen. You see Dogon Messi framing with his lead hand, aka the shield, and then throwing. That's a commonly utilized tactic in the beautiful sport of Dambe. Frame, then throw, obstruct, then distract, then destroy. And that's what you see him doing here. Excellent work, tenderizing those ribs as we pointed out so that the hand can eventually drop. Autan Shagon Audu being defensively responsible and keeping a nice tight shell so that no excess damage comes through, even though he did take quite a few shots on the way in there. Oh, solid counter. He countered him quite a few times. Really impressive work, but then that was where the kick came in. He wasn't ready for it. Out of the orthodox stance, left leg in front, the left kick was thrown. Lead, high kick to the body. Excellent work. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going into round 2. The drummers filling the audience with energy. Can you see this? This is a display of a true national heritage and culture. You can't see this anywhere else in the world. Round 2, ladies and gentlemen, African Warriors Fighting Championship presented to you from the beautiful city of Katsina. We have Autan Shagon Audu versus Dogon Messi. This is the King of Dambe event, of course, at the Open Air Theatre in Katsina. Ladies and gentlemen, African Warriors FC on Instagram, African Warriors FC on kick.com, and here we go into the action on TikTok as well. African Warriors FC. Autan Shagon Audu versus Dogon Messi. What did we say the neutral part of the game is comprised of? What? 2 words? Distance management. Finding your effective range. Where can you operate from most optimally? Where can your opponent operate least effective? And you see, that's what Autan Shagon Audu did. He's breaking into the range because he's shorter. So that's his more effective range. And Dogon Messi is aware of that. His leverage gets halved, shortened, once Autan Shagon Audu is within his range. And that's why you see him utilizing lateral footwork to circle and to keep his opponent at bay. He wants him right at the edge of that range so that he can obstruct with that lead hand that you see him prodding and finding his range with, and then he can destroy. Ladies and gentlemen, African Warriors Fighting Championship. Dogon Messi's dominant strategy so far has involved framing with the lead hand, as you see him do there, and then throwing with the spear right behind it, either to the body or to the head. Several times to the body to soften up those ribs so that the hands drop, and then he can throw his spear right to the dome piece. But we also have Autan Shagon Audu, who is the shorter man. Knowing this, he's been playing with the ranges, he's been darting in, blitzing, trying to create opportunities out of chaos, which is a valid strategy in combat. If you know you excel in chaos, then create more chaotic situations. And so far, that has been the tail of the tape. Solid feint work from both men. Try and imagine how difficult it must be on your calves and hamstrings to be in a semi-squat in sand and fight another well-trained athlete. Solid work from Autan Shagon Audu, connecting on the top. We have the audience in the back appreciating the action as well. And we have Dogon Messi, tall, rangy, lower stance now, framing on the eyes, trying to distract and obstruct the vision so that he can throw that spear and do damage. Ladies and gentlemen, African Warriors Fighting Championship from the beautiful city of Katsina. I'm your commentator and host of the day, Oche Young Jollof Edache. And this is the Open Air Theatre. Dogon Messi pulls him in and lands one for his troubles. Excellent connection. Still framing with the vision. Still framing with the shield, aka the lead hand, aka the left hand. Using that frame to distract and obstruct his opponent's vision so that he can pulverize his opponent's tempo. Ladies and gentlemen, second round done and dusted. This is, of course, the African Warriors Fighting Championship with your replays on the screen. That was the connection. It didn't land flush, more like a hammer, semi-hammer fist, like you landed a hammer with the flat side on the side of your opponent's head. He connected well there, but Dogon Messi was still able to connect last. He was able to finish last. And oftentimes, the guy that finishes last in combat is the guy with the advantage. Because if your opponent throws one, you can connect with 2 more afterwards and make sure you finish. You make sure that he does not retaliate after that too, especially because he's expended that energy to land first. So you land with more emphasis and maybe even more volume to close out the exchange. And that way you come out ahead in the eyes of the judges. This is round 3, African Warriors Fighting Championship from the beautiful city of Katsina. African Warriors Fighting Championships, of course, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Here we go. Dogon Messi versus Autan Shagon Audu as we go into the neutral portion of the game. Neutral, as we've said 2 times already in the first and second round, is defined by distance management, of operating effectively from your optimum range. That is what distance management is about. And that's how every round in every combat striking centric sport starts. Solid exchange from both men. I don't think anybody landed with anything cleanly in that particular one, but it puts something in the mind of your opponent. Ooh, framing and throwing. Ooh, and now we're right into it. This is it. Fast twitch fiber muscles. Both men exploding. 2, 3. That's the 5th one. 5. That missed. Dogon Messi, Dogon Messi seems to have taken the better part of that exchange, but Autan Shagon Audu still very much in this one. See how quick they were in those exchanges. Boom, boom, like snakes, king cobras. Just striking. Excellent work, ladies and gentlemen. African Warriors Fighting Championship, the world's biggest Dambe production, and you can see why on the screen is because of the talent on display. These are actually the world's best Dambe athletes who are watching for this unique striking sport. And now, as we approach the middle portion of the 3rd round, distance management using your range finders. Oh, Dogon Messi connecting clean on the tempo. That range and height disadvantage is finally coming full circle to bite Autan Shagon Audu in the butt. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Can he find a way back from all of this? The referee seems to have seen enough. Of course, the referee can end the fight if he thinks that that the damage being received is too one-sided. Look at our replays on the screen. Dogon Messi's strategy involves just framing a little bit with his lead hand to distract, and he's on phase. So much composure. That strike just barely grazed his chin, and he didn't move. He didn't even blink, and that's what led him into the final salvo in the closing seconds of this 3rd and final round. The referee seemed to have seen enough after this exchange, and I think that was a solid call on his part. Excellent work, ladies and gentlemen. African Warriors Fighting Championship. The judges tallying the results for this bout. Of course, a judge decision. The referee getting both men. Dogon Messi in the background already looking like he believes he's won this fight. Autan Shagon Audu looks like he thinks the fight is still about to go on, and the referee telling him, no bro, it's over. It's time for a judge's decision, my friend. The fight is over. And now, Dogon Messi and Autan Shagon Audu in the center of the sandpit. Dogon Messi is, of course, your winner with that impressive performance. African Warriors Fighting Championship from the beautiful city of Katsina. I am, of course, your commentator and host of the evening, Oche Young Jollof Edache. And look at it, it's all love at the end of the day. Sportsmanship, honor, integrity. Martial arts speak the same language, regardless of the color of your skin, regardless of your ethnicity, creed, or location. African Warriors Fighting Championship.